Is there anyone who wants to share? Say, okay, I really want to say something about this discussion. You're welcome. But you did have a good discussion. Good examples to share. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. So, and also about the problems you may experience and how to deal with that is very important. Yeah. Yeah. On the advice side, one of the issues we have been discussing in group 4, that was the Dutch side, was, can you do this, sharing your life with someone else, with many people, or only with a few? Is it asking too much to share it with many? What do you think?
Човек не може да споделя наистина себе си с безкрайно количество хора. Because if you want to be authentically present, that demands time, effort, money, in many cases money, but not така ще
Чак един цял сме наследници на комунизма.
That's why you know you have a natural circle of people that you can influence really, and probably many others that you can somehow touch, have personal space from afar, but not to be truly and authentically present in their life. Because this type of presence also demands to be closer, you know, to develop the trust and build relationships and so on.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
It's a natural thing. Yeah. We can enlarge this circle, you know, purposefully, but we have our limits.
Yeah.
Only God is limitless.
Yeah, yeah. But giving, I think you are right. You can be, but to see someone else as a person, to be more open towards people, that can be an attitude. Yeah? That can be applicable to many. But when you want to go in depth, developing trust, but remember, you may be willing to share something of yourself to others. Remember, you have to wait. Not a quite big number of people will come to you. Yeah? So it's not that if you want to be in someone's life, everybody says, okay, you are welcome. Most people will say no. Yeah? So the attitude is important. And then you will find out which people will accept your invitation and come into a relationship with you, and some others will not. But it takes time. Thank you, and may God bless you. Because in all congregations, I think, I don't know that it's different here, most people coming to faith from the outside world, coming to church, are coming because of this type of relationships. So there's a very big missional power in this. Yeah? You can hand out leaflets to all the city and nobody will come. And you think you have been very active in evangelism. But investing in a few that God brought on your path can be much more effective and open ways to people coming to church, coming to Christ, and coming into that body that we love to see growing. Yeah? That would be nice. Okay, may God bless that too. I go to my last part. We have only 25 minutes. And this is the question that pops up every time. If you come into a relationship, it also costs money.
Oh, yes.
Now, so we have to handle that issue, isn't it? Okay. So you just send the bill to the DCB. No, that's not the idea. Sharing your life and seeing someone doesn't cost money. But if you have that relationship, there will come moments. Now, in the Bible, it's good to see that you know the story, I think. It's about the blind man in Jericho who was coming to Jesus. And he was crying out for help for Jesus. And Jesus asked to bring him to him. And then there's a very interesting text. When he came near to Jesus, Jesus asked him, he's blind, huh? What do you want me to do for you? He's not presuming that he knows. He is respecting that person, asking him if he can do something for him. For me, it means it's respectful. It's not saying, okay, I have read a book. I know what blind people normally want. This is what you want too. I can't. Yeah? Yeah. This is fitting that personal relationship. When you are coming to a relationship, there can be a moment that you see that question comes on the table. What can you do for me? And let us be honest. It's normal. It's normal. And it fits the whole idea. And it's very interesting. It's somewhere in that paper as well, I think. When you start a relationship, it's like the offer of friendship. This is a quote, people in the margin, do not seek to be tolerated because of claims to equality and justice. They long to share the lives of people like me because they want to be chosen by people like me. People accepting, if I offer them friendship and they accept their friendship, they want to be close to me. But if he is my friend, what does it mean for my wallet? And that's a difficult thing. And I think everybody who is connecting with people in the margins is running into that problem. If I offer friendship and say, okay, you can ask me anything, Remember the story of Paul, John, and coming to the temple. I don't have money. Could he have been saying this? I do have money, but this is not what I'm going to share. In the name of Jesus, rise up and walk. Would that have been possible? Not.
They will say, if you don't have money.
So, friendship does always has an impact because you are friends with what you have, your possibilities. So sharing, I can give you 100 examples. If you live in Africa, wherever you live, it's always the same. There is a point that loyalty is tested by a simple request. If I'm sick, are you willing to bring me to the hospital if you have a car? Or not? That questions you cannot. Are you willing to get my medicine at a doctor? And she did. Yeah. But there are so many stories. Yeah? So we have to be honest. This is something you cannot avoid. But I will. The complication, I also want to be honest about that. If you are in a relationship with someone, you not only have to deal with that person, but also with his context. Let me give you the example. You have made friends to a certain man, and now he comes to you and says, okay, my wife is ill. I can't do anything. Or my children have to go to school. I can't afford the school fees. Africa. What do you say? And it grows. And it grows. The normal reaction we have, I think I have too, is to be wise and say from the beginning no. But when you do this, it's really something that is showing the other one my friendship is not real. I want to share my life. They say it also when it comes to faith. There's a saying in Holland, I don't know if you have this. God converts hearts. It's easy, the converting of hearts. But the conversion of your wallet is much more difficult. Huh? Yeah, that is because then that shows that our certainty in life is also in what we have. This do you understand? So, is there a way out?
My comment is that you're dealing with the ideal example that we all would like to have. I mean, the person who is very sincere, he's in real need, he's coming to us, we have friendship, and he's in need, and we say, okay, we will help you, we will give you. 99% of the cases are not like this. These are people that are friends of your wallet, not yourself. And this is the, for me, the painful thing, because you invest yourself and you know that you are misused.
Yes, that's misuse.
And you're not done. You see that, and you have to go on to help this person, and even to dig into his problem. And he becomes even more arrogant sometimes.
Yeah.
And the question then is,
there was no real relationship.
To help him and make his problem worse, or just say to him, look, you're an abuser, and I will not help you anymore. And I myself have many cases like this, and I have, for me, I have taken this attitude. When I realize that somebody from the beginning is coming to use me, I tell him immediately
No.
emphasize, if you're here come to use me, you'll not succeed in that. If you really want to help me, I will do all I can for you. But if you want to use me, I know, and I'm not dumb. So maybe this is my way.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the way I have to protect my heart and my family, because sometimes my family also suffer from this. And
Yeah, I agree. I fully agree. That's why I want to say this. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
This is important.
Yeah.
Приятелството е двупосочна улица, не е еднопосочно. I have no problem at all to help the ones that are my friends, and they know that are my friends.
Yeah.
And I don't even question if I am making harm to my wallet or my family's funds. Then I just help. I don't even question myself about it.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
За вас бедността е начин на живота и начин на мислене.
For you personally, or you both, what is the life in poverty? Way of life or way of thinking?
When we talk about being present, we talk about isolation and brokenness as the most important thing.
Когато някой е изолиран, когато някой... Say it again, please.
Brokenness of the people, restoration of relationships is much more important.
Възстановяването на взаимоотношенията с хората е много по-важно. But the question was not what is poverty for you? Way of thinking or way of life?
Both. It's both.
Защото те произвеждат едното от другото. Nerses is not sure about it. This is a question, this is a opinion. Radio Ереван отговаря.
Защото много често бедността е в главите.
Because very often the poverty is in our minds, in our heads.
Така че по-голямата част, който съм имал някакъв контакт с хора, съм разбрал, че този начин на живот всичко е в главите, а не в възможност.
It's because of their minds and their way of thinking, and not because of possibility.
Да, нали, изключваме един случай, когато наистина липса на възможности,
lack of possibilities, but it's this much more the result of the way of the thinking.
Yeah.
How you think.
How you think is very important, but it doesn't. But you must. Some people are more suffering because of the consequences of someone else. Let me give you example. Stell je is a family, the husband is drinking. Now his wife is suffering to feed the children. You all know those examples. She is suffering because he is abusing her, maybe. And now she is again suffering because of the reaction of the people around her. Because they say we aren't going to help because their husband is drinking. So many people suffer from the consequences of other people's behavior, and that's not their mindset. They are in real trouble. So it's good to see both sides. In one hand, it may be something of spiritual attitude or whatever. For others, it's directly related to a life because of someone else behavior. But I want to, for a few minutes, to try to open up a bit of a perspective on how help, support can come in that relationship that you have. We all know that the question will be there. It will come. Now, I already mentioned in this morning Samuel Wells' ideas about brokenness and about deficiency, helping people because they are in need. He makes another distinction. Brokenness, being isolated, being alone. Oh, and they have many people who know what it is. Yeah.
Say one from your
Brokenness.
Because brokenness in Bulgarian doesn't translate well. And I mean,
brokenness. Hoe zeg je het dan? Mensen zijn without power, powerless. No, that's not powerless.
It comes from the fallen.
Shattered by.
Shattered. Разбит.
Разбит. It sounds nice, but it isn't nice.
Do you know what bit means?
No.
Разбит. Broken.
Okay, yeah, okay. That's the word. Now the same guy makes a very nice difference between working for and working with. What we tend to do is working for. We see a problem, we want to solve it for someone else. And many times he is asking you to solve it for you. Then you're doing things for him. And he says the much better way is not working for, but working with. By working with, he doesn't take over his responsibility, but you support him in his responsibility. So you try to help him working himself.
And there is one negative stage, working instead of.
Working against someone, that's we should. Yeah, that's not the case. You don't, when someone is marginalized, he is convinced he can't do anything. That's the idea. Most people in the margin think they are unable. That's why they ask you. When you give, you say, okay, you agree, you are unable. But if you start thinking from the other side, say, what can you do? Then you affirm his responsibility. And I think that's what friends do. They don't take the burden from someone else, but they go shoulder on shoulder. And that prevents you from doing it instead of the person itself. It starts with being with, you are with him. The moment comes, can you give me this? You say, okay, what can we do together? More than taking over responsibilities, taking his burden on your shoulders, and then you are going down and he is not. That's not the idea. Like Paul says in Corinthians 9, we give one another so you have we carry equal. And that's maybe a perspective on working with someone else who is in need a bit more. Yeah, maybe I am, but okay. Okay, Samuel well said. I don't know.
A traveling preacher. He was fed, he was sleeping. One day, Dimitar, 20 days, for 20 days, he ate and slept in their house. And then he said, come to clean the well. And that preacher said, no, the Holy Spirit said to me, I should not work.
And what was his name? Stoyan.
We sit together to eat.
Чакай сега, вика, тая леща, вика, ти мислиш, че
This
съм 100
Lenten,
килограма човек, ще дойде
how do you think? I am a big man, I need meat.
По-така обкръжението, пасторите, Варна, така нататък.
Some of the
Ти
pastors
казвал,
come,
леща ли ще му сложиш?
you will put him
Lentils. Имам нужда, казва, от силна храна, салами, адибички.
And I need meat. I need sausages.
But listen, when these examples we can add on for hours.
Можем да добавим такива примери.
There are many. But when we talk about what we are talking about now, is when you have built up a relationship, then you know one. Yeah? So I think you should not close your eyes for the reality when you have a real relationship. That means something. You can't avoid that. That question will come, can you help me? Not someone else who's abusing you. But I can really understand. If I was in need, and Tim is my friend, he's also my colleague, but he's also my friend. And I would ask him something out of need. And he says, no, that does something to my friendship. But if I touch his heart, that he say, okay, I really want to help you, but I can't do everything. So please, what can you do? Then the discussion changes. And then maybe we work together. And that's important. When you be with one, you will always try to come to the point not to give, just give. But maybe look for ways. That's my advice, at least. Not to give, just give.
If you were talking about friendships, then it's a logic. Because you and Tim are on the same level. But if you're talking about marginalized people, we are in a more powerful position than they. So the friendship is from the beginning already
unequal.
And there are people you can say we want to be equal, we don't help you to do your own things. But people with psychiatric problems in the Netherlands, yes, we have a lot of possibilities to go to office and you get your money, or here not.
Yeah.
So we had the example in our church, a man who had really big problems, but he didn't get any help from the state or whatever. So the question was, will we let him die, or will we take the responsibility to pay his, and so on and so on and so on.
Yeah, best, my dear friends, it is the truth that in an unequal world, we struggle with these problems. there's no simple solution. There's no simple solution. To say no in all cases is not justified. To say yes in every situation is not helpful. Because we have to find ways to deal with this immense, troublesome situation. Really, I don't know. I can't make it easy. Yeah.
Because we had this unequal relationship with him. And then at the moment that he got ill, you cannot say, oh, it is unequal, we don't help him anymore. But the burden on our church, on our time, on everything.
Maybe we should.
And the only solution, financial-wise, really came through Foka and her relationships to
the churches
in the Netherlands, because he was in the fourth stage of cancer with completely no relatives.
Yeah.
With no
I heard a story.
No assistance from the state, and we were under compulsion to help.
Would it have been possible, just a question, not to go for medicine and let him die?
Yeah,
Where?
On the street? Then he would have died on the street.
And in a terrible way, how to allow it? We cannot do it, so we have to help, because he was part of the church. You know, for a while he was far away, but when he felt that things are going in the wrong direction, he came. And we have no way to say no. And we accompanied him till he died.
And the only people
buried him.
Daniel and I. This was not anymore.
No, people, and he realizes that and said, okay, you said the first letter of the alphabet, you have to say the last as well. And if he's a person with a good health and so on, I will say, okay, go out of my car, this is the end. But I cannot say it. And I see how he's treating me as a person who can use, and you know.
You were used in a certain way.
Yes, we were always, but there was no other way out. We were, so to speak, forced.
But I think it's good to share, because we all know these issues exist. And they are terrible here more than in Holland. But in their own way, they're also there. People claiming you, asking you to go much further than you can.
But here, because the government cannot be helpful in any way, and there was no relatives, no family, no institutions, nobody. We were the only ones who can do something.
And in the Netherlands, it's much easier to find some help from others. Here, not.
In the case, your church were able to do something. Your church were able, or just
they provided financial assistance, because at the end we admitted him in the hospital.
I think because now you have restored through use through possession.
Then the church here would have helped him, and he would have here a very big problem.
I don't know.
We'll bankrupt for 2 months with a person like him.
I really don't know what you can do. When I try to think from the perspective of what presence means, I think the first and most important thing should be being present in the life of such a guy and bringing some wholeness, some light in the darkness.
That's true.
And only very limited.
Letter you have to say all others.
That's the question. I just want to tell you a story. I had the story. I heard it. I don't. Yeah, okay, maybe there are more. I don't know, but I don't see them. I tell you the story. It was a worker from the GSB working in Beirut. And she was really Beirut in Lebanon. And she was working with people and really trying to share their life. with us. And Sunday, there was a lady coming, a young lady, with a baby. And she said to her, you have to accept my baby. She said, I can't do that. If you don't, it will die. And she said, okay, still, it's not allowed. I cannot take your baby. And she told, the other day, the baby died. So sometimes in this world, things do happen. Maybe it's the reason why we long as Christians so much to the world to come. We cannot serve this. And I don't know. I was so happy. I was not her. I'll tell you another story. So sometimes things are very, very deep. In South India, we have a partner organization. He had a school for orphans. And someday there was a father coming, bringing his child for that school. It was a good school. And he asked for admission. And we, as a donor, had changed the regulations. Only real orphans. I was a donor. I sat in the board. We made that regulation. The man came with his child. So the director said, no, it's no longer allowed. That night, he committed suicide. We live in a broken world. You don't know how I feel about that story.
Is the reason to become
yeah. So made his daughter orphan so she couldn't be admitted at school. The world is full of stories that makes one thing for sure. We are not here to save it. So maybe sometimes, maybe.
You know, because we have another one in the queue.
Yeah.
He will come sooner or later for the same problem.
But you know, maybe I would say, never let them die alone.
Yes.
But that's, I don't know. I just.
But you know, having to involve people like these people, but we have to, in this case, be involved in the process of their dying and to accompany them to the very end. If we are talking about people with nobody to help, so we really have no chance to proceed differently. This is the reality. That's why I said we were under compulsion to help.
Yeah. If you feel it that way, you
didn't have any other choice. Yeah. Even we were not comfortable, even it was a big burden for us, you know, because treatments, hospitals, all this thing, medication. It's not like in a hospital in the Netherlands, you have to provide everything, to go every day, to push the doctors to do what's necessary to be done, and so on. And, yeah.
But I don't know the answer. But I share the stories that maybe somewhere, if you didn't have that possibility from the Netherlands, you should have been compelled to let him go. Probably. No, that,
they would have helped him. That's a very big problem.
I don't know. But maybe I think it's good to talk a bit about this, because these are the hard side of living in a life, of coming into the lives of people who are in difficulty. That creates questions that you cannot answer always, or bringing you into trouble. That's for sure. That did you bring in trouble? Yeah. And maybe God can do miracles then as well. Maybe that's why you found the donor in Veenendaal.
Yeah, when he died, we were extremely relieved. God have mercy. But he was a demanding person in need, not only because of his condition, but because of his character. So Yeah, we repented a lot, but
you suffered. Okay.
to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. But not all situations are like that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah? Let us be honest about it. Okay. I wrap it up. Being present is I think can be a very big missional challenge and possibility. So to invest in this is very wise, I think, and helpful and enlightening yourself as well. It has a dark side in this sense that you can come into trouble personally, but also when questions come. Maybe it helps in principle to say, I'm not going to take your burden alone. That's, I think, not wise to do anyway. So, but sometimes situations are harder than we think of. Yeah, that's the truth. And then you have to live with the choices you make. If you say no to the girl for adoption, till the day today, it's more than 25 years ago that it happened. She still suffers of it. Shouldn't I have said yes? He didn't. But God is a God of mercy. He knows our limitations. We can't do everything. We try. And we pray that God will give us wisdom, clarity, a heart with love, but also wisdom. So, and in that dependence of God, we live in dark places. I really believe that. And we fall and we stand up and we struggle. May God bless your struggles. Amen. Thank you so much. I quit. 10 past 4. 10 minutes late. 10 past 3, I must say. Yeah. Yeah?
It's break, and then after break we come up with this last...
Yeah, that's what you do. I will take a break for my...